Okay, hello KW peeps and all of you out there in Zoom land. We are very grateful today to have Chip Barkel with us for Send Out Cards, the holiday edition. I know that there's a lot of you out there, and for everybody that's going to be in here, it's going to be great. We use Send Out Cards a lot, and I'm going to leave the floor to you, Chip, to do a little intro and take it from here.
That's right. Actually, you can do, we're going to do a little bit of a review of what Send Out Cards is. I found that it's actually a relationship marketing tool. People say it's cards, but it's really more than cards. In fact, I have a YouTube channel that says it's never just a card. And so it's really, how that came about was, some people say, I said, well, I sent this card and I got a $2.5 million listing, and I sent this card and it was a $5.2 million GCI between the two transactions. And it was like, can I see the card? And I look at their face and I can read it, and they're like, I don't get it. Like, what's,
What card did you send?
That's right. Well, the card that I sent was a thank you card, and inside was a picture of our lake. And inside it just said, thank you for being a good neighbor. We appreciate your neighborhood watch. And that was it. And they're like, that's it? Well, it's the backstory. It's never just a card. It's the relationship that you have or that you want to develop. Why are you making that card about them? Like in this case, we're neighbors on the lake. It's our lake. So as soon as I look at it, I say, oh, that's right in front of my cottage. She had done me a favor, called me at the end of the winter and said, hate to be a nosy neighbor, but your cottage door is wide open. And then I'm like, well, I haven't been there since October. This was April. Where we broken into? Was it? Are there animals in the place? What's going on? Was it open all winter? So she went over and checked it out and called me back and said, nothing to worry about it. We decided it was a handyman had left it open. So I was sending her a thank you card for being a good neighbor, and I sent her brownies. She called me back, said you didn't have to do that. I know. I wanted to thank you. None of us have to do anything, and so that was the beginning of the relationship. 6 months later, she said my neighbor sold their house. What did it sell for? Called them, gave them a price. We looked at a few places. They weren't really ready. A few years later, they called back saying we're ready. And so that first card really started the relationship. I didn't know her. I knew who she was. The first time we met, I gave her my business card. That was pretty much it. So it's never just a card, it's always the backstory, the relationship, why are you choosing that card for that person, and because you're making it about them. It's not about you. Although you can brand the back of your cards to make sure they have your contact information. This is an exception. My pizza guy, it's a big card. I did it on purpose because this is a friend of mine who has a pizza place. He keeps my cards on his counter. I made it red and big because I knew it was going to have long shelf life. It was probably there for 3 months. And it was
which one is that? What size?
It's on sync. What size?
No, what size is the card?
The big card. There's only one big one. It's $1.50 extra if you want to send them. So he made a 416 pizza, which was 416 ounces of pizza. It was 4 feet by 3.5 feet, something like that. Huge, as big as his pizza. So I was there the day that he made the pizza, and so I took all these pictures and just sent this as a remembrance. And then I put them on the back with my contact information because I wanted to make it about them.
Chip, you know what, before we get too far in, just for the people that don't know, because I've answered a lot of these questions, can you explain what Send Out Cards is?
I will. So as I said, it's a relationship marketing system. It's a portal that will allow you to create greeting cards, custom greeting cards, select from a catalog, or use what they call photo drop cards. You can send the card alone, or you can send the card with a gift. Brownies, cookies, scarves, books, all kinds. There's probably a few hundred gifts. And those cards allow you to drip on people in a different way than just a postcard or a newsletter. It's much more personal. And it's a way of personal touch to create a relationship or nurture a relationship. I've gotten a lot of business from just sending nice to meet you cards. I met one guy, he's like 6'5", macho Italian builder. gave me his card, please keep in touch. I made a card, sent it to him with brownies. He was so excited. I got your package, thank you so much. You know, I showed my brother, I'd like you to meet him, we're in business together, I think we can do business. The next day, he didn't wait, he emailed me, asked me if I would list one of his properties. In fact, it's just down the street in this neighborhood. And I leased it for him, but I think even before it was leased, 2 weeks later, he got another email. He introduced me to a friend of his who had just bought a property in Etobicoke, and I ended up leasing that for him, double-ended it, and then now a year and a half has gone by, I just released it. So that card and brownies, even though I don't do a lot of leases, probably $15,000 worth of, you know, on a $15 investment, not too bad ROI. It's pretty good, you know. And also now we're friends. So we go to, you know, Thanksgiving dinner together. I, you know, met his wife, his baby. It's built that relationship. So hopefully that settles that. You can, you know, you can make your own cards. This is another one that's kind of subtle. I was at an open house in the country, and it was this time of year, and the husband and wife sellers went for a walk, came back, and she had brought these 4 leaves with her. She had these beautiful, laid them out on the kitchen counter, took some pictures, and I thought, you know what, her birthday's in November. I'm going to put these on front of her birthday card. Anybody else can say, well, just some leaves, right?
Right, yeah.
But she knows they're her leaves, right? When she gets this card, you know, she liked them enough to bring them home, right? So, and the other thing is, when we were I was at her house, I commented on her wallpaper, and I said, it's almost like a William Morris design. She said, yes. You know, she was surprised I knew that. So I took a picture during the open house, put that in the card. Again, she knows that's her wallpaper.
Right.
Makes it more personal. And of course, we can brand the back of the card as well.
So these are all, they look like they're all your own personal photo drop
I
cards,
mostly create my own cards. Once in a great while, for Get Well, I'll use the catalog. And for, what else, other than Get Well? Babies sometimes, the photo drop cards for babies, you know, picture. Otherwise, I just make my own. That's what I like to do. I'm going to, it's funny, we look at email newsletters and we see 15 to 19% as average for open rate. Anecdotally, we say with send-out cards, it's 100% open rate. Somebody in one of the groups that I'm in kind of challenged that. Somebody who, you know, one of her prospects said, well, how do you know it's 100% open rate? Well, when they arrive, they look like it's a birthday card. I've got one here somewhere that isn't open. Doesn't really matter. They look like a birthday card. When's the last time you got a birthday card or something you thought was a birthday card you didn't open?
From somebody that did send
from,
out cards.
From whatever, you know. So, in fact, yesterday I got a bunch of cards. These are the cards that I got yesterday. And there was one that was a name that I didn't recognize. And I thought, you know what, I should wait till tomorrow, it's this one actually, and open it in front of the group. Well, I couldn't wait. I was like, who is this person, right? So I couldn't even wait 24 hours. So people open them, you know, and I suggest, I've never met anyone yet that has said, no, I wouldn't open a card like that. Maybe there's somebody out there, I don't know. But I suggest that person to send that skeptical person a card, and on the inside say, did you open this, right? So when she opens it, it reads, did you open it? See, I told you so, right? So otherwise I don't worry about it. And this one was a thank you card, basically asking me, thanking me for taking my personal time to help her and educate her on send-out card details.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Is this your phone? No.
so she said, I learned so much in such a short amount of time. I admire you when I put you on my original quest, and gave me answers for questions that I didn't even know I had yet. And I thought, who is this person? Like, I didn't remember it all, but I went back through my messengers, and she had asked a question, and I said, you know what, just let me call you, it's easier, I can explain it. You know, I spent 10 or 15 minutes on the phone. And anyway, she sent me a thank you card. So that's what happens, you know. I've gotten cards from customers as well, so that's the way it works. What I'd like to do, if you'll cooperate, I want to do a demo of the app, the phone app.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do is take your picture and we'll create a card. So just do it a little bit. Great. Okay. You can actually take the picture while you're doing the card, but I like to do it ahead of time just in case something happens. And so
Bad shot or something.
I'm sure it's fine. So the app on the phone, I don't use the app a whole lot because I'm on my laptop all the time with a realtor, but a lot of people do. I have sat in my car in front of a listing after a listing appointment, taken a picture of the house and done the card right from the car before I even drive out of the driveway. Or you can start the card on your phone and finish on the laptop if you want to do that. You can scroll through and go into the catalog and find cards just like on the laptop. Photo cards, vertical or horizontal orientation. These are the build your own. I'm going to create the card. And it's going to ask me to go to my
That's
photos.
how you do it at the listing appointment. Because I was thinking, so you have the listing appointment or whatever.
Right.
And then when you take a picture and then you go home and you upload it, or you can actually just do it
You can
from
just do
here.
it there. Yeah, that's right. You know, if you want to. So I'm going to put Irene on the front of my card. Now there are third-party apps that you can write thank you or nice to meet you right on the picture. I tend not to do that. It's a little bit of a mystery when they get the card, and then we go through.
Who's that?
Yeah. And then when they get the card, you kind of open it up. I can go inside on the left where it's asking me to tap for text. The bottom right, if I click on the bottom right icon, I can actually add more photos if I have additional photos and in various configurations. Otherwise, I'm just going to go to the next spot. And because I'm on my phone, Irene, comma, new line. It was really great to see you again on Tuesday for the Send Out Card seminar, period, new line. I can't believe we're looking at holiday cards already, period. Where did the time go? In 2 months or less, this decade will be over, period, new line. All the best, comma, new line, Chip.
And then juice.
She often doesn't understand me. So you can see, I can't believe that. I really was trying to be articulate this time, so she didn't do too badly. I can also put my finger on it and select everything. Click on the capital A, and I can change my font to something a little bit more fun if I want to do that. I like to change the background color. I don't think I can do that on the phone, but I can do it on the laptop.
We just started doing that. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I really like to do it. I have a color that I use. I don't know whether everyone knows about hex codes, but if you Google hex code and some color like bright yellow or blue, you can find the color you like. Hex codes always start with a number sign, like a hashtag. The blue that I like is B5D3E7.
Well, don't tell them that.
Because I use that all the time. I know the number and I can just make a change to that. And then I'm going to go to click on Save. And I'm going to go to the back. That's the current default back that I have, a couple of wine glasses. If you don't think that your people are going to appreciate that, you can click on the bottom right little square icon.
Sorry, Chip, what did you do? Have you loaded that?
Yeah, this is already in there. It's my default back.
So was that like you just did it in Canva and uploaded it?
Yeah, that's right. I just upload it as a full page picture, save the layout. So that's my default. So whenever I create it back, this comes up. I can change the default.
When you say save the
I can show you in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm
on
sure
the
Nicoletta knows how
laptop.
to do it.
I have a bunch of YouTube videos out there too. On YouTube, it's never just a card. And there's one on creating, they call it custom branding. I call it back branding or card backs. I've actually done a video showing you how to do it, but I can do that today too. If I click on the little bottom right icon, it's going to load a whole bunch of card backs that I've already done in the past. And then I can choose one that I like better. And this is just a skyline of Toronto. So that's pretty innocuous. Click on the little airplane in the top right. It's going to create the order. I can add a gift or not add a gift if I'd like. I go to my contacts, select contacts, because I believe Irene is in here.
Which icon on the right? I don't have an icon on the right.
The bottom, oh, are you Android or iPhone?
Android.
Really?
We'll figure it out. Yeah, it's a little bit different. So add contacts, select contacts, Irene, done, and continue. So I can, if my contact is already in there. Notice, because I'm on the unlimited plan, it's free for the card, free for the postage. I can send an unlimited number of these. And in Canada, we're pretty lucky, Our postage is really expensive. So if I send 100 cards in a month, I'm charged $97, but $87 of that 97 is postage.
Postage,
So basically, you're sending cards for 10 cents a piece. So how cheap could it possibly get? So that's kind of neat. And then I just hit submit, and it will be in the mail tomorrow. So they print at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm sorry, 2 o'clock our time, which is midnight Mountain Time. So and that's a good thing to know too, because I can go into my account card history, and if I want to change the card, I can have up until midnight to make changes. So if I type in Irene and pending, pending, it should find the card. Return, there's what's once. So 1022, Irene, and there's the card. If I wanted to, I could go in and edit the card, add to it, fix typos, things like that. I always encourage people in the beginning to do that because sometimes they make typos. So that's a chance to look at the phone app. An app is always a subset of the main computer, right? So there are always going to be things you can't do on the phone that you can do, but it's pretty much, I'd say 90%, 95% that you can do. So I'm going to switch over to the computer, and
We moved the flip chart, otherwise you could write your contact info. I
Yes,
guess if anybody
yes.
wants Chip's contact info, you can get it from me.
I'm really easy to find. If you Google me, I'm Chip Barkel, B-A-R-K-E-L. I'm all over the internet, so it's really kind of easy to find. I do want to talk about holiday cards today. However, this is a Thanksgiving card that I sent out early
I
Thanksgiving.
think Philip was passing that around or
Yeah.
something.
So again, I found some images that I like. Through the year, if I see images that I like, I save them so that I'm ready to go. On the back, I changed the back branding. That was a field of sunflowers up Highway 27. I took a picture and thought, oh, that'd be good for a card.
Just pass it down.
So yeah, so that's kind of a handy thing to do as well. And I have quite a few American friends too. So I'll send this out in November as well. Okay. And this is another example of the sunflower card. I just did this as a test, but it's kind of all occasion. If you don't know what to send somebody, they're pretty cheery. In fact, I don't have an example here. I found an image that said, I'm assuming this is true, that sunflowers will turn to the sun on sunny days,
Yeah.
but on cloudy days or rainy days, they turn towards each other and kind of share the energy. So it's a nice story. I'm hoping it's true, but I found a picture of these two sunflowers kind of facing each other, and I put it on the inside of the card and said, you always bring sunshine to any interaction. I sent it to somebody who was very bubbly and positive, and she liked that. Here's another big card that I received from a client thanking me for being helpful, and so isn't that great? How often does that happen? So I'm actually not a big fan of the big cards. Some people really like them a lot. This one, there was a reason. Kids, if you have a lot of pictures, they're fun for kids. They're also fun for older people. I've done a couple for 90th birthday parties. We have lots of photographs to put in, and that's always a big hit. So let's go into the app, or the laptop. And I will talk about, actually I'm going to pull a chair around.
Okay.
Push that down a little bit. Okay, that'll be easier. I'm blocking the monitor. When you, and just as a refresher, when you go in to send a card, you're going to have a choice between catalog cards, photo drop cards, and build your own. Photo drop, it expects you to change the photo that's on the front of the card. Catalog cards, it will not allow you to change the front of the card, but you can change the inside, so catalog cards. Again, like I said, I use these a lot for Get Well. Sometimes I don't always know the person real well. It's somebody's mother, father, you know, where I don't have as much of a connection. So I have sent wishing you a speedy recovery. I have sent love is the best medicine, as well as the large dose of chocolate will cure just about anything. As we discussed earlier, if you click on see inside, the message is now suck it up and get better. If you customize it, you can get rid of their message and put your own message. And that's a pretty simple thing. It's just a matter of going to the panel that you have the message that you want to get rid of. Just wait till it catches up with me here.
Some of these Halloween cards are really cool.
Yeah, they add to them all the time. Come on, it's taking so long. Well, while it's waiting, all you have to do is click on layouts and then click on the text panel, and it will get rid of the message that they have and add your own message. I'll show you an example of one that I did last year. I have a friend who's 98, and at Christmas she was, it looked like she was on her way out. You know, they said it was probably a very aggressive cancer. She's 98. She said to my friend, I'm going to fight this. And well, she had the last laugh because it turned out it wasn't cancer at all. When it came back from the lab, it said no cancer present. It was a really bad infection. So it's like, wow. You know. So anyway, I sent her this card. Didn't think she would like the message, suck it up and get better. So let me see here. So I Googled chocolate brown, found the color that Baker's chocolate uses, and she loves sweets, so this is perfect. Put a chocolate brown background, picture of her when she was much younger. She was only 96 when this picture was taken. Glad you're feeling better with my message. And then I just left whatever branding was on the back. It's kind of a winter scene. She's not going to buy a house from me. I don't really care about that. Otherwise, I can put anything I want on the back. So that's the catalog cards. And then, of course, the build your own. Build your own. Vertical or horizontal. I prefer to do vertical for two reasons. They stand up better when people keep them on their bookshelves. You can see the difference. It's when, you know, they don't. The other thing is, if I have a picture, I don't have an example here, I can take a house picture or the lawn, or I went to the Grand Canyon last month, and if I have a picture that I want to span the inside, they're often horizontal, so I can span the whole inside of the card, and that's a handy thing to do. Do you want me to show you how to do that?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of going to the 2-panel card, and you can't do it on a 3-panel, you can only do it on a 2-panel. I wish they would change that, but they haven't. Used to be able to. I'm just going to go in and put anything on the front. What do I have something here? Here, this leaf is something I took this picture a few years ago near my cottage, and it's kind of come in handy. But if I go into the middle and I click on background on the left here, it's going to say, do you want to add an image? or you can change the color. So you can change you know how to change the
Yeah,
color,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So add image, and I'm going to go back to my Grand Canyon picture. I did this morning with somebody, so there's, it's pretty powerful. You open up the card, whoa, look at that, I try to pick images that you can overlay text on it, and I still get away with it.
Oh, so cool.
So, you have to be a little bit judicious about what you pick. But again, click on the little pencil sign. If I change the color to white, and then maybe change my font to something that's going to show up like Original Surfer, and then I could say Irene, why is it not white? White. There it is, Irene. So good to see you the other day. I wanted to share my photo. Oops. Grand.
That's awesome.
So whatever you want to put in there is fine. And then again, you go to the back. And this is my default on the back, the wine glasses. Now if you're not happy with that on the back, click on the back and go to layouts. And I have a whole bunch of backs that are already in there. It's going to take a little bit of time to load. You can just pick an existing back that you like better. Seems to be slow today. The sculpture that's in Philadelphia, the Love sculpture, or you can choose something else. If you want to create a brand new back, you have two choices. You can click on create a new one, and Send Out Cards has some templates. The one that I like to use, in the beginning, I just picked a template, upload a photo, typed in a message. That's good when you're starting out, but what I like to do is use Canva or Snagit or something like that. Take a picture. I have a banner already made with my contact information. I just slap my banner on a photograph that I like, and I'm off to the races. So I can then click on this full page picture, and it's going to ask me to upload my photo, like any other photo. So I can go back, see what I've got here. I'm sure I have something somewhere. So let's say you're sending this to your mother, your aunt, somebody's not going to buy a house from you. You can just choose any old picture to put on the back. And that was one of those pink Jeep tours of the off-road in the Grand Canyon. If you decide
And then
that you
can you
want...
just plop your banner somewhere?
Well, you can't do it here. You have to do that either in Canva
Okay.
or Snag.
Right, right,
So I chose this one because it was going to be personal. But somewhere here I've got my sunflower back. I just have to scroll down a little bit. Here it is here. So that sunflower picture with my banner on it. So once I'm happy with it, remember to click on Save Layout. Save Layout will save the back. Save by itself will save the card. So often I get calls saying, I just created a back and it's gone, where is it? Well, you didn't save layout. So click on Save Layout. It'll save that card back, so then when you go into layouts and it says, pick one from your library, then you'll have this one in your library to pick from. So go to Layouts and select Existing, and it's going to show me what's in there. That's already in there that I can use. So I can go down and find something that here's one of Toronto. So, and then of course, save and send. Choose the person it's going to, and then you're off to the races. So, so that's that. So I'm going to go back and go back to send a card. I wanted to talk about holiday cards today. Last year I sent a 3-panel card as my holiday card because I had a lot of neat Christmas pictures, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas. I actually, when I started out my real estate business, I decided I was not going to send Christmas cards to my clients because not everybody celebrates Christmas, and you think, sometimes you look at a name and you think, are they, with this name and with married name, you just never know. It's a little bit of a minefield, so I decided I would send New Year's cards for 2 reasons. The reason that not everybody celebrates Christmas, but also if I get a Christmas card on December 20th, let's say, I'm probably really busy, And I might have a stack of cards like I have here, and I'm looking through and say, oh yeah, Philip and Irene and Chip and Mary and Joe, and isn't that nice? That's great, thank you. Push them aside, I go on to whatever I'm doing. So I get kind of lost in the shuffle. Whereas January 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, I'm probably the only greeting card in your mailbox. And so you're going to take notice of it. You're going to stand out. Our job is to stand out with what we do. So that's just the way I looked at it. However, I do send Christmas cards to people that are friends. And I went in March, that woman from the lake that I told you about. I went to meet her, talk about listing her house. And she said, you know, this was March. She said, that Christmas card you sent was so nice. I'm thinking, it's March. It's like 90 days ago. Like, do I remember a single Christmas card that I got? Like, I know I got Christmas cards, but, you know. And she went to her piano bench, lifted it up, and there was my Christmas card. She had saved it. She took it out. So this is so beautiful. And I was able to show her, to talk about the photos and why I chose them. Because a lot of those photos had real meaning for me. Or where they came from. Like one was an oil painting done by a friend in New York. One was a Santa Claus. A friend of mine used to do reproduction German Santa Clauses. They were candy containers from the 19th century. So they all had a story, you know, like I said, never just a card. But I was amazed that she had saved it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Build Your Own. And then I'm going to choose the vertical orientation, portrait orientation, and customize. Now, don't get excited if it says $1.75. At the very end, when you go to send it, it's going to look and see what subscription you're on and decide how much to charge you. A lot of people in the beginning get excited by that, and I always forget. I'm going to do a 3-panel card because it's no more expensive to do a 3-panel than it is for a 2-panel. While we're talking about 3 panels, I didn't want it to just be about holidays, but this is kind of a story here too. I grew up in this Italian neighborhood, and I kept in touch with the people. They were kind of more like family, and I left there 44 years ago. So I get a call saying, Mom is turning 80, and I have to do an invitation for a party, and I realized Chip does cards, you know, so she said, can you help me do an invitation to her surprise party? So I did this card here. It says you're invited in the front, picture of her when she was a little girl. I don't know, she's probably 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5. And then a picture of her now, relatively recently. It's one of her many, she's on her 10th or 12th once-in-a-lifetime trips right now. She's in Italy. So I laugh every time I see her going there, because the first time it's like, this is once-in-a-lifetime, we're gonna go. And then the love sculpture from Philadelphia. She's from Philadelphia, lives in New Jersey. Please come and help Teresa Sauer celebrate her 80th birthday, June 1st, and the address RSVP to Debbie. And then the back, it shows in one of my backs, but I would have used a different back when I sent it originally. So that was the invitation. And so many people, when I went to the party, were like, wow, that invitation is so nice. It was a real keepsake. I think it had a picture of her family on the back originally. But when I reprinted the card, it just chose one of my backs. And then, because we did that, I did another card as a thank you card for everybody who went, but also as a chance to show the people, think client appreciation. You have the original invitation that goes out, and then you have the people that came. But you also have sent to the people who didn't come, say, look what you missed, right? So there's her at the party wearing her 80th badge. And a bunch of pictures, including her surprise. Like, it really was a surprise. Like, you can't fake that. And pictures of her family, people that were there. And then on the back, I put the love sculpture from Philadelphia.
So we had a big client party. We have it every year. It's the first Saturday after Labor Day. And we did actually send out the photos to the people that came. Mm-hmm. So we did a collage out of them. And we were going to do them for the people that didn't come, and then we started to worry, like, what if there's photos, and, you know, I don't know.
What do you mean?
We overthought, well, photos of people, and you're sending them to other people, and we kind of overthought it and didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal, you know, especially if people know you're taking pictures, if they're crowd pictures, maybe, I don't think
Yeah.
it's an issue. One of my favorite quotes, and it's true, my partner's a lawyer, and you have no expectation of privacy when you're either in public or in someone else's, I guess in someone's home. So, save toilet or, things like that. So yeah, it's is it possible? Sure, anything is possible. I just think that when it's a crowd like that, I certainly didn't think about this when I was taking pictures for this card. All of these people are really intimate, like children, brother-in-law. I made sure I was in there, and so forth. It's interesting too, this one guy here in this top left photo, I used to babysit him, and I moved when he was like 2 years old. And this is the first I'd seen him in like 40 years, and he said, first thing he said to me is, "I love getting your cards." And so I was like, wow, that's pretty nice. So they work. So 3-panel card. You could do the standard paper, which is the kind of sort of semi-gloss, satin or pearl, which is 50 cents extra. They're both matte. There is a difference. It's a very subtle difference. Once in a great while I use pearl, but most of the time I just do standard. And then it says, okay, find a picture that you want on the front. And I've already uploaded a bunch of pictures, so I've got this picture of this dog with the holiday theme. My friend in New York is an artist. She started doing, every Halloween and Christmas she does pictures. She's got a company called Curious Portraits. So they're kind of anthropomorphic pictures of animals doing things like Beatrix Potter kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So she's always doing her dog pictures. So it's kind of fun. And I have her permission to use her artwork. And then on the inside you're going to have 3 panels because it's a 3-panel card. Again, you can go in and you can choose multiple pictures. I like to keep it simple and then just find things that I like. Here's a Santa Claus. I was looking at home, I have a kind of a rainbow colored menorah, and I was looking to bring it because, you also want to think about Hanukkah is coming up too. So, this one's going to be Christmas, but you don't have to be just Christmas. And then I'm going to go to the right panel, and I'm going to do another full panel picture. And I'm going to, again, I uploaded these just to make it a little bit quicker. Here's one of my customers who is, he really does look like Santa. The beard is real. And he just joined a Santa group in, I think it's Missouri. So I can show you, I did a card for him saying congratulations and used that picture. But I'm going to go back and use this other picture. These are the candy containers that I mentioned my friend makes, or made. And then on the back, I'm going to choose something else. Again, you can do whatever you want to do, and so forth. And then on the inside, I like red, so I'm going to make the background color red, and this kind of deep red, and then I'm going to change the color to white, so it shows up. And then either envelope hand, or find a font that you really like.
I like homemade
Homemade apple, yeah, it's kind of, for me it's a little feminine, but I'm glad you like it. So find something you like.
Well, I am a girl.
Yeah, that's right. And then I like to keep my, so wishing you the joys of an old-fashioned Christmas, Merry Christmas. I like to keep my things fairly short. And then, so I can say an old-fashioned Christmas, all online. And sometimes what I do is change the font for my signature to be something else, maybe a little bit bigger. But you get the idea. Short and sweet, to the point. You don't have to write a book. If you want to write more, you can. The other thing you can do with this too, if you want to take the time, I send out 200 or 300 at a time, but there are a few that I know, like family and things like that, where I'll go back after I've sent them in the card history and edit, and just say, love Chip, or add something a little personal. It takes a little bit of time, but if you, for certain people, you might want to do that. And then I'm going to go to the back. I don't want the wine glasses, not very Christmassy, although we do a lot of drinking at Christmas. But I have a Christmas picture. It's the only time that I don't brand the back. If you're getting a Christmas card from me, chances are you know me, you know I'm a realtor. Again, I don't send them to clients. I do that to New Year's, so it's just the way I decided to do it. So I found this picture of the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center.
That's nice.
It's kind of festive. And so that's all there is to it, save and send. And then it's just a matter of filling in the name who it's going to, and it'll decide whether it's a heartfelt card. Now, because I just created this, even though I did this last year, you know, I may have done this before, the system thinks it's a heartfelt card because I just created it. You know, so it's done from scratch, so to speak. So I've never sent this to somebody else. So if I wanted to, I could go and add gifts. If I,
They got rid of, they used to have pink and blue stuffies.
oh, it's coming back. It's just sold out.
Is it coming
It's just
back?
sold out.
Yeah,
It's
because
supposed
we've
to
been
be.
sending the giraffes.
So
but-
me too. And I had a couple of little girl babies that were waiting, and you know they're still waiting. Right? So the moment's passed. I was told in August when I was there they expected to be in September, but here we're in October. I kept looking to see what is back. They will add it. So there are a whole bunch of. There's a llama. There's another one. It's a little bit more expensive, but there's an owl that I sent. I think it's an owl or a lion.
The llama's cute.
Is it an owl or is it a lion? I can't remember.
They're good, it's good quality stuff too.
Yeah, good quality. Maybe it's a lion baby. Because I have a friend who was actually there when her mother was pregnant with her, and now she's having her babies. And she had a boy, and I sent the blue giraffe, which had another boy. I was like, well, I don't know, I sent another blue giraffe. So where is it? Lion? Maybe it's out of stock as well. But yeah, you can always send
I
something.
know,
It's a little
Nicoletta
bit
was
this one
saying,
here.
yeah, Nicoletta was saying there was.
Which is
oh,
kind of
that's
cute. It's a little bit more expensive. Instead of $15, it's $27. So it's, you know, a little bit. But the pink giraffe will be back. If you don't want to add a gift, you don't have to. Add recipient. And then it's just a matter of going in and finding the person that you want the card to go to. And ready to send. Again, because I'm on the unlimited plan, the card is free, the postage is free, the whole thing is free. I can send as many of these in a month as I want to, or can. And as I said earlier, if you send 100 cards, $87 of the 97 is postage. If you're sending the cards for 10 cents a piece, it's pretty cheap, you know. So, and while we're on this, go ahead.
Did they change the plan, because I had something grandfathered there?
Yes, they took away the enterprise, the $147 plan, so if you're on it, don't leave it. If you ever leave it, in fact, Telltale's out of school, but I had somebody who was on it, somebody we all know, and for whatever, I think maybe he thought, well, I'll drop down this month and I'll go back next month. Well, no, they got rid of it. So if you're grandfathered on, stay there, because you get 100 group send cards a month for $50, so basically it's 50 cents a piece. But if you're on the, and what I've tried to explain to this person, if you're on the elite package, you can send cards for 99 cents. So you're saving the $50 that you would have spent for the 147, and it's going to cost you $99 or $100 to send 100 cards. But you're saving the 50, so it's really the, you know, the net is the same. So,
We still have
yeah,
a
you
bunch
still have
from
it,
Elite.
stay on it.
Yeah.
So
Janice, are you doing any of these?
Not yet,
Yeah.
we keep talking about it, but it's, I want to.
One more
yeah,
thing.
just so
Yeah.
that you know, we've talked about some terminology. So the enterprise, which is $147 plan, is gone. If you're on it, stay on it. You're grandfathered in as long as you want to stay on it. If you ever leave it, you won't be able to go back. The elite package, which is kind of like a system send package, there were 1,000 cards for $9.95.
Yes.
That is also gone.
Oh,
Been
okay.
replaced. So you're good for their 12 months. At the end of the 12 months, they are, there's another system package that is 300 cards for $3.95. However, it's a little misleading because you're getting the discount. The discount's $131, but you get it for 12 months. So it's not just for 300 cards. It's you're prepaying 300. You get the discount for the full 12 months. So it's a replacement. They are looking. I know it's being recorded, so I have to watch what I say. They're looking at other packages. My recommendation was to come out with something. I said, I assume we were making money when it was 99 cents. You know, why don't we have a package that's bigger than 300 that will give a little bit more discount. So I think they're looking at that. So just so you know what some of these things are. And that's pretty much it. I said I'd show you the Santa Claus picture, because you can have fun with this and also send personal cards, not just clients, but
Personal cards, who has
Personal
time to send personal cards?
well, it's easy because on your phone, right? So you can
Is there an app?
create the card.
Yes.
There is an app.
Yeah, yeah.
I can send it to you.
You need your own personal tutorial.
That's right. At the beginning of this, let me see. Where does it
Sorry
go?
we didn't have the room full for you.
That's okay.
That's okay, we got a lot of people on Zoom, I think.
Yeah, and they can watch the.
Is it still being
recording.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
still-
There it is here. This guy, he really does look like Santa Claus. He just joined the Santa Society, I think it's in Missouri. So I sent him this card, and he was out shopping, and he said he sent a picture. It was like a Christmas green blazer, and I guess he was getting ready for his installation to the Santa Society. So he decided on this red blazer, and I sent him a message on Facebook saying, you kind of remind me of Fashion Santa, you know, because he's always, you know, our own. So I just said, congratulations on being inducted into the Mid-Southern Santa Society. And then there's a picture of a Santa that I have. Put that
That's a great picture.
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah, a friend of mine used to make these. They're reproductions from the 19th century. They're all candy containers. So you know, kind of fun with
With
it.
the shadow?
Well, it's in front of a mirror.
You took that?
Yeah, it's in my
Wow.
house. Yeah. So you can have fun with it, and you know, do, you know, whether it's for business or whether it's for pleasure, and you know, you can have fun with it. Questions?
I don't know. Janice, you need a tutorial and send out cards for
I
it.
know,
Yeah,
I know.
right?
When you design something like this,
Yes.
if you,
That was for a birthday party, Davey's birthday party.
I love
It
it.
could be a client party, as I
Yeah.
was saying before you came in.
But in the plan, it's the $99 plan,
Yeah.
that's unlimited. Can you, unlimited pictures? Like you can just
Unlimited,
do this?
yeah. That's exactly what I did.
And do you have like a template set up and then like, for different events you just change?
No, because I make them all the time. So you'll notice they're either one photo on the front or on the inside. I have lots of pictures, so sometimes there were 4. Yeah, it just depends. That was the original invitation to the party, and the other one was a thank you card after the party. I brought it because of the tie-in to client parties.
Yeah.
You know,
Is this your aunt?
neighbor from when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. But as I was saying, like, I left there 44 years ago, and they called me and said, Mom is turning 80, we're having a party, and I realized I have to do invitations, but Chip does cards. And so, you know, again, it's relationships. So,
Yeah.
You know, it's great. So,
Very cool. So Chip, thank you.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. And, you know, I'm never very far.
Okay, all right, awesome. And for all of you out there, thanks for watching. And Chip can be reached at...
Chip Barkel at gmail.com, it's easiest.
Okay, perfect. Or YouTube
Yeah,
him
just
or
Google
Google.
me, you'll
Okay.
find me.
Awesome, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.